The drugs and alcohol are your Band-Aid. Let's talk about the bullet hole. This is a nice analogy to give you an idea about the place your addictions sit at in your life, right? So for me, it was alcohol. So with regards to this analogy, what they're saying is, the alcohol was the Band-Aid used to cover up something. And in order for me to, really get a hold of that addiction and have it at bay, quit drinking for as long as I have, what I had to do was the work necessary to deal with the bullet hole, to deal with the wound that it was covering up. Essentially, we go to our addictions usually because, it's some kind of either emotional trauma or when we feel stressed, upset, bored, a range of emotions that we don't have a coping mechanism for, we usually go to our addictions. And so, especially when you first start off in sobriety, you just think, okay, I'm just going to stop drinking and everything will be fine. But herein is where the line between sobriety and recovery lies. Recovery is when you're dealing with the bullet hole. Sobriety is basically getting rid of the Band-Aid, right? Getting rid of the drinking. But if you're still not in recovery, if you haven't found proper coping mechanisms for your emotions or whatever it is that causes you to drink or engage in your addiction, then you're always going to really run a very, you're running a risk of relapse. And so doing the work to really, to self-discovery through therapy, professional help, through family, friends, groups, connecting with others. These are ways where you can start to begin to do the work of recovery, which is what happens after you stop drinking, right? You stop drinking and then you work towards your recovery, work towards dealing with the things that brought you to your addiction. Shame, guilt, anger. These are just some common ones we throw out, right? Stress, boredom, inadequacy, conformity, right? We talked about that, recently, about conformity and just doing what everybody else is doing, right? Or doing it because your family always did it. But these things have to be addressed in order to truly heal. Yeah, you can remove the Band-Aid, right? Remove the alcohol, the drugs, whatever your addiction is. But if you don't deal with the bullet wound, right, that is causing you the need for the Band-Aid, you're never going to be healed and you're never going to be truly whole. So I just want to give you something to think about. If you're early in your recovery, if you stop drinking, congratulations. That is a great feat. But in order to make it sustaining, sustain sobriety, at some point, you're going to want to ask yourself, why did I drink? What would lead me to drink? Start by thinking about the situations you were in where you were really quick to get that bottle, right? Or take those pills, and start looking at what they all have in common. What emotions do you cause you to go towards your addiction? And then start dealing with finding proper ways to deal with those situations. All right. So I hope that just gives you something to think about. Remember, the drugs and alcohol are your Band-Aid. It's time to deal with that bullet wound. All right. May not be fun, but it will be best for you in time, and it'll be something that you will not regret. I promise you that. So I want to wish you the best of luck, good work in dealing with all of your traumas. Go and getting professional help, going to a group, whether it's NA, AA, whatever, talking to a therapist. If you're a student, on your campus, there should be counselors. If you're at a job, they usually have, I think, EAP, an employee assistance program where you can get free therapy. Ask and inquire about that shamelessly and unapologetically, because remember, self-care is self-respect. All right. So I wish the best for you. I hope that, pours into you. And until next time, peace.